we were literally down there to meet and have dinner and hang out and talk about what we were going to do with the property here, right? Prompted the conversation because we were just so fascinated by how fantastic this wine was. Even though it was older, it was just like drinking silk. It was just wonderful, right? They had this great older aromatics to it, but it was just everything about it kind of just stops time, right?
Love wine for that.
And it's just,
because it can do that.
and it can do that. And it
really
reminds you of places. It reminds you of lots of different things.
Takes you places.
And
Yeah.
it takes you places. And that was really like, well, we can do this. And that's kind of really what started.
That was part of-
started all of this. Of well,
That's
yeah,
the easiest way to take care of 100 acres is to let's start a vineyard.
Yeah,
vineyard,
so
right?
easy. There's no work involved at all. We don't work 7 days a week. It's not a thing.
Hello, I am Seth with Wine with Seth, and today I am here at on location in Stanwood, Washington, just north of Seattle, about 45 minutes, in the Puget Sound AVA at a Pinot Noir vineyard at Bayernmoor Cellars with Kim and Larry Harris, the owners, winemakers, and you guys do everything. But thank you guys for joining me here today.
Well, we're excited to be here.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. We're sitting outside. It's really lovely out. Despite a little bit of cloud cover, it's actually very warm.
really warm.
And it's a gorgeous spring day.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, it's t-shirt weather already.
Right.
Cool. Well, I mean, so first of all, I've just been like so fascinated since let's see here, maybe like 5-10 years ago, I've tried some like random Puget Sound wines that were like not very good, if I'm being like really frank. And so like when I found out about what you guys were doing, I had like it's a low bar, and I was blown away. Like I had really amazing first experience with your wines, and I'm just so fascinated because we really have nothing over here. You know, everyone thinks of Washington State, and obviously the Eastern Washington with the Cascade rain shadow, it's a desert over there. You can grow anything. But on this side, it's a little temperamental, even for gardeners here in the Seattle area. So like, this is like quite an ambitious feat that you guys have accomplished. So, well, anyway, so I want to just start at the beginning here. So Kim, I believe this land belonged to your family, like long before it was a vineyard now. So what was it, and what did it mean to you growing up?
My parents bought the property back in the 80s, and we actually moved here right before I started high school, and I grew up in the building that is now our production facility.
Okay.
So we lived in that building while my parents were building the main house. And so for me, I have a lot of sort of teenage memories of being here on the property and roaming in the woods and just enjoying being out in the country. And so when Larry and I got married, we were living in San Francisco. Then we eventually moved up here to be back near family when we had kids, and had a lot of conversations about what are we going to do with 100 acres when my parents don't want to take care of it anymore on their own, because 100 acres is a lot of
5
work.
acres is a lot. 100 acres is a lot.
It's a lot of work, and we loved the land. We couldn't figure out like where we would be able to find another piece of property this close to the city and yet still be this beautiful and pristine. So at the time, it was just the building that is now the production facility, my parents' house, and the old original barn and farmhouse that came with the property.
Okay.
So when we decided we really wanted to stay and move back onto the property, we had a lot of conversations about what are we going to do with this land. And Larry, you want to speak up about?
Well, yeah, we talked. I mean, we went through several different iterations, and Kim and I's goal was like we wanted to have something, you know, that would carry this for multiple generations beyond us. Right?
Okay.
I think it's really cool that her parents built this place, bought the property. It's awesome. They had the willingness to transition control over to us for that generation. I think it's awesome. We have the financial ability to maintain it for this generation, which is why we're committed to building something that will keep going regardless of whether our kids come back, or hopefully they do. But and so we talked about cattle, which I didn't want to do growing up in Texas. I've had my fill of being around cattle. If I missed them, I can go to my brother's cattle ranch. We looked at corn, we looked at other things, all of which were boring, until we kind of hit on this. Well, what if we can grow like a major varietal red here? And so we actually spent a couple of years with WSU studying our little microclimate here. And, you know, they came back after 2 years of sitting in weather stations and digging soil pits and said, your growing season is really similar to Burgundy. And so we kind of had this, at our elevation, we have this really cool warm spot in a cold climate, which is perfect for Pinot.
Well, that's great. Tell me about the Wazoo. So you said, how many years did it take?
They studied our location here for about 2 years.
For about 2 years.
They came out and dug a soil pit, put in a weather station, and just monitored the weather patterns during the growing season. And
I mean, that makes sense, right? Like, yeah, if you're going to try to grow grapes.
Right.
And so what did, you said it was like Burgundy. Like Burgundy is a little more, I think of it as continental, right? So, you know, this is a maritime climate. Right. So there's obviously, I mean, that's what makes wine so amazing. And I feel like Pinot Noir obviously shows its terroir and its little microclimates really well. But can you tell me more about, like, I guess what the report came back, like the soil, the climate, and I imagine this mattered when you guys decided what kind of clones to plant and stuff.
So we spent, like, during those 2 years, from looking at, which is one of the kind of the big generic things that a lot of the wines look at is growing degree days, like how many heat units, and it's a mathematical calculation. And even though our growing season's a little shorter than Burgundy, just because where we are on the earth, our growing days are longer during the summer.
Right.
It's a lot more sunshine here. And so we were on there kind of that lower end of what's considered that ideal for Pinot Noir. Now, granted, this is back in 2011.
Okay.
Actually getting a little better every year for us.
Yeah.
Getting a little too hot in some places, but getting a little better for us. As far as the soil, you know, we have sandy loam. We made some adjustments to our soil here to bring in, we brought in a lot of dolomite.
Okay.
It's like 98% limestone, just to kind of really help bring in the right pH for the soil, and minimize the amount of amendments we have to make over the years. And I think it was 10 years before we ever made a lime amendment.
Okay.
With that being brought in. And the fact that we're 700 feet up, south-facing slope, we have really good drainage here with that sandy loam. So during the summer when it does rain, it gets out of the vineyard pretty quickly, which is really helpful for the vineyard that time of years to help it kind of transition and focus on getting the fruit ripe. So it's really just worked out really, really well of being at this kind of perfect location. With the maritime climate, like the fog line here literally starts across the street.
Oh, really?
And so in the summer, you know, we'll come outside at 5 o'clock in the morning when it's sunshine and we're full sun and we can see the top of our neighbors' roofs because they're all
so cool.
Fog. And in the winter, it's not infrequent where it'll be snowing here and raining on the road.
Really?
So we're kind of right at
There's like a real microclimate and you guys are like right there being able to like see it.
Yeah. So it's a really kind of special and spectacular place that's worked out.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, so you guys both come from law,
We met in law school.
You met in law school?
Right, yes, and I practiced for a few years in San Francisco before we had our first daughter, and Larry still practices. But that's actually where we fell in love with wine because we were young attorneys with no children and plenty of time on the weekends when we weren't working, and we went to Napa and Sonoma and really fell in love with a lot. I had a great time. It was a lot of fun, and had a great group of friends our age, and we all competed to do like big dinners in the city, and everybody competed to bring the best wine of the night, and so it was a lot of fun.
That is a lot of fun. I've had a few evenings.
Yeah. So then, of course, when we came here and we're really considering what do we do with the property, wine eventually fell kind of into a natural place for us because we really love it, and now we get to do the in some ways harder part actually of making wine is to do the vineyard piece.
I was gonna say,
piece.
yeah. I mean, I was gonna say, so you guys are not like formally. You guys didn't go to UC Davis to study to become, winemakers or whatnot. So, I mean, coming in, I think from patent law, right? I mean, and I think. Larry, I think you've called yourself like a nerd of nerds, possibly. I, as a nerd myself, I can appreciate that. How do you find that kind of like mind translate into like learning viticulture and winemaking? I mean, it's got to be, they're worlds apart, but yet, I mean, I imagine there's some similarities.
I mean, as far as the vineyard side and the wine production side feeds into my nerdy side because I love to track things.
Okay.
And I think quality in the vineyard and in the production facility comes down to, one, obviously keeping things clean, but paying attention to details. And we track every little thing about everything we've ever done, that we will ever do. And so I can go back and look through our records and history and tell you everything we've done in this vineyard since the day we planted it in 2011 to everything that's ever been done in that production facility down to the gram.
Wow.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
And that way, and as we build those over the years, and one of our goals is to constantly get better, is the years when we have something that's fantastic, I can go back and look and say, what was different about that year from other years, and learn from our history, right? And so that feeds into my background in mathematics and engineering of kind of that logical process in building forward and going forward with that. And so I love it. And the kind of the art side of wine, which is equally important, we do a lot of that together. I mean, she helps with the production side. And so when we're doing like our final adjustments and our final tweaks to the wines before we bottle them, it's a very much a collaborative effort between she and I, and she's got a much better palate than I do.
So is my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I still know that I like it.
Yeah. I think a lot of the females have a much better palate than we do. And our assistant winemaker has a fantastic palate as well. And so there's a lot of discussions and debate as to how we come up with our final, what's the final acid on these wines? What's the final alcohol level before we put them in the bottle? So it's a very fun, that piece is a lot of fun because it's all the really, really hard stuff is done and you're just making something beautiful and wonderful and all the background work's done. So it's fun at that point.
Yeah, it's like the final party, or you're the wrap party.
It's that last 5% that makes all the difference in the world, right?
Well, and it also comes down to making sure you have fantastic fruit, right? And
For
sure that not only is our vineyard up to where we want it to be in terms of quality of fruit, but also the fruit that we purchase from other vineyards in Eastern Washington, because it's not hot enough here to grow every variety that we make, right? We can't grow cab here as much as I would love to. I'm actually not sad necessarily about that because it would have to be a lot hotter here.
I've had some cab from this side of the mountains, and I don't recommend it at the moment.
No, I don't think it would get.
I don't know if in this lifetime maybe it's going to work.
No. So that also is really important for us, is making sure that our fruit is excellent quality, and so is the fruit that we're purchasing from other vineyards. So.
No, that's amazing. Can you tell me a little bit about, we're right before bud break here, and I'm sure it has something to do with the clones, obviously in the weather and where we're at, but maybe a lot of people don't think of Puget Sound or like this climate. I think about it as like a wine nerd myself, and I think about all these amazing maritime climates in like Europe, like Rio Spacious, or even Bordeaux is maritime. But like for you guys, what does your full year look like here in the vineyard from like bud break, and what are the things you guys are managing and thinking about in this unique microclimate all the way till you guys tuck away that last barrel at the end of the season?
Well, it usually starts January 2nd.
Okay.
Is kind of how we do it, because we have a very high touch vineyard out here. Our vineyard manager's been with me for just over 10 years. It's almost as long as the vineyard's been here, which is awesome. So he knows each of these plants kind of by name. But we're certified sustainable WA. We're certified salmon safe. So herbicide has never come inside this vineyard, and nor will it.
Amazing.
Which is great. And so we use a lot of techniques, very traditional method. Like if you look now, every one of these plants has been touched by hand a couple of times since January, just getting it ready for bud break. We go through into what's called cane pruning, where we're removing all the arms, completely laying down new arms every year, just to give it fresh wood. That's what Pinot Noir likes. It's a much more labor intensive. I mean, if you look at the vineyards in Eastern Washington or in California, you see those big gnarly arms. They've been there for years, spur pruning. Pinot doesn't like that, right? It prefers this. It's a low fruiting varietal. And that produces even less. So this produces a little bit more, and so we start that usually January 2nd, and we finished here. This is April 10th. We finished on April 8th.
Okay.
But it's usually one or two people out here, and it takes about 4 hours to do one row. When on the full rows, these are a little shorter. But there's a lot of time that goes into winter pruning to get the vineyard perfect and ready to go. And so next steps is we'll come through and clean up the rows. All the canes that we've cut off that you can see laying in the ground, those will all get cut up into small little pieces with a flail mower, and we'll degrade and go back into the soil and provide nutrients back to the plants. So it's kind of the full cycle of keeping everything in here. And then when bud break starts, we go through the vineyard several times and do shoot thinning and shoot positioning and moving the wires to keep everything manicured and perfectly where it belongs. And then after, I guess, flowering of fruit sets usually right around 4th of July. And after a fruit set, we will come through and remove the leaves right where the fruit is.
Okay.
Just to expose the fruit. Like Oregon usually only does it on one side. We do it on both sides.
Okay.
Not only to help with sun exposure and get more light in there, but more importantly to get airflow through there to help dry it out, because with the maritime climate, it's
moist.
a lot of moist. There's a lot of humidity in the mornings to help dry that out in the mornings and get any potential for powdery mildew control out of here. And then we'll go through and do what we call a green harvest, just as we're going into veraison when the fruit starts changing color, really to kind of reduce the fruit and get everything as homogeneous as possible. So if anything's really far behind, we'll go through and drop it, because we're interested in like what's the highest quality we can do, as opposed to how much can we do.
Right.
And so we'll go through it, and when we're about 50% of the way through veraison, anything that's not at about 50% through gets cut off.
Okay.
And it's like kind of puts everything set, because once it's fully colored up, you can't tell if it was behind or not. Right. And so we'll do that, and then we just, it's a constant process of taking care of the vines, moving through the wires. We have irrigation. We've used it 3 times since we planted it in 2011.
Okay.
And the last 3 times in the last couple of years.
Oh, wow.
It's getting a little bit warmer, I think, every year, and we have these longer spells without rain.
Right.
And so we monitor the plants and see if we need to irrigate. Right. Prefer not to.
Sure.
Usually we have plenty of natural irrigation. But in this growing season, there's not a whole lot of rain here sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes we need it. And then the cool thing is with the 2 clones we have here, the Précoce clone, which isn't grown very often, it ripens really, really early. It'll be one of the ones you try today.
Okay.
It ripens really, really early. So bud break is about 2 weeks before the other clone.
Okay.
And they literally grow side by side. Like we have 1.5 acres of Précoce here, and then 3 acres of 777 in the middle, which is the other clone, which is a very common clone. It's grown almost like probably one of the most common Pinot Noir clones there.
Okay.
And then another acre from Précoce. It's literally Précoce, 777, then more Précoce. But bud break on the Précoce is 2 weeks before the 777. Fruit set is 2 weeks before. Harvest is 2 weeks before. And so everything's cycled off. Even that's what I love about Pinot Noir is these different clones. They behave differently. They taste different. They look different. They smell different. And it gives us the ability to blend all Pinot Noir, but blend it and create these unique, interesting, different bottlings of Pinot Noir just by how we play with the clones.
Yeah.
And so it gives us, coming back to harvest, it gives us the ability to split these harvests up, doing half of it, get things going. The Précoce is usually pretty early during harvest season, and the Précoce is usually, the 777 is usually one of the last things we bring in.
Okay.
I mean, early meaning that the average date for the Précoce is October 12th.
Oh, wow.
So it's not really early.
It's not early on the east side.
On the east side, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I imagine, being that just because of our weather here, it's almost like an insurance policy a little bit to make sure that something ripens right at the very least. So you're not going to have to lose anything. Have you guys had any seasons where, you probably have, where it's been a challenge to ripen?
The Précoce has always gotten ripe. Some years I'll have to go through and drop more fruit just to focus all the energy.
To get it, yeah.
But one of the things we did, and this is again working with WSU to kind of help with the strategic planning, the 777 clone, some years it doesn't get fully ripe. And we have to harvest because it's going to rain for 3 weeks or it's going to freeze or whatever. But the nice thing about that is when we do harvest that early, it's perfect for sparkling wine.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Those years when in 2020 was the first year we had to do it. And I was kind of bummed about it. And we made a traditional method sparkling wine. And it was so well received, it was gone really, really quickly. And so we did it again in 22, and we've started doing it every year since then intentionally. And now we've actually started transitioning to some of the fruit we buy from Eastern Washington, using that for sparkling wine. Okay. So that all of this can go to a still wine unless we have to use it for sparkling.
Got it. Yeah.
We have, a limited quantity of fruit here right now with 6 acres.
Okay.
Until we plant more, I want to be able to put as much of this when it's the appropriate year and I can make a really, really high quality still wine, it'll go into still wine.
Makes sense. So you brought out a few wines. What do we want to start with?
Well, we should start with the white Pinot.
Okay.
Not very many people actually make a white Pinot.
No.
And it's actually, I love it. We tried it for the first time when we were down in Oregon when we were in 2020.
Making our first sparkling wine.
First sparkling wine. And the winemaker that we were working with down there to teach us how to make one.
Okay.
We'd never made one. We didn't know. Of course, winemakers always have wine sitting around. He's like, oh, you should try this. And I tried his white Pinot Noir, and I looked at Larry and I said, you need to make this. I need to figure out how to do this. So that's why we have white Pinot, actually. And that's kind of how we end up with some of the varietals we make, is because we personally really love them. And so we want to try them.
I feel like there's no other better way to be invested in what you're doing, and you get the best out of it.
It's a lot more fun that way.
And part of our philosophy is like, if no one wants to buy it, we'll drink it.
Right. But yeah, it's always fun. The white Pinot Noir, the 2025, we're actually just releasing this to our wine club in June. So this isn't even out yet.
Well, this is literally the first bottle we've opened since bottling.
Oh,
like literally.
I feel so honored. Thank you guys so much.
So yeah, the white Pinot is in 2025.
It's from Celilo Vineyard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, we're using as much of our fruit now that we can for a red still.
Okay.
We get 6 different clones of Pinot Noir from Celilo Vineyard, and we built up with them over the years. They're one of my favorite vineyards to work with, and so this is just a little bit from all those clones put together, but it's 100% Pinot Noir.
I love the aromatics on it. It's so
Beautiful, fun wine.
yeah.
And people are always blown away and shocked that it's a white made with a red grape, right? And so,
Yeah, tell me about that process. For those who may not know, or what does that look like?
well, normally when you're making a traditional red wine, the grapes come in and they go across the sorting table. They go through the stemmer, which takes the stems off, hence the name. And then out come the berries and the juice, and it all ferments together with the skins. But to make a red grape turn into a white wine, we press the juice off of the skins right away.
Okay.
And so it's not sitting on and fermenting with the skins, because the skins are what create a lot of the color that's coming out of your red wine.
So it's just like a whole cluster, first free run.
Everything goes
just
straight
pull
to
that
the press.
juice.
Yep.
And yeah, we're done with it.
So it's full cluster, stems and all, go into the press and separate the juice as fast as possible.
Love it. So you guys fell in love with this in Oregon. How did it feel the first time you tasted it out of the tank? Of your own.
So oddly enough, the very first time we did it, we tried with the 777 clone.
Okay.
So like I said, ripens a little bit later.
Okay.
So the acid's higher. So it was very much and we only made like 20 bottles, 20 cases, very much an experiment. And we never released it formally. We just shared it with club members, and it was very polar, right? Because it was very high acid.
Okay.
And so everybody loved it or hated it. And so in following years, we used Précoce, which ripens a lot faster. And I can let the acid drop. And
Okay, there's a little more ripeness and the acid runs down.
It's
Yeah.
not quite as sharp. Because I don't want to make massive adjustments to my wine if I don't have to.
For sure.
I prefer to do it in the vineyard.
Like that.
And so when we did the second one, and we knew we were onto something, because even though it was polarizing, we knew we were onto something kind of cool and special and different. So we did a larger quantity of it the following year. And it's just the first time we did it, we're like, yeah, this is the right one. This is the right one. And it's been that way ever since. And so like with the fruit we get off Celilo now, since it's a little warmer there, we'll typically pick it a little bit earlier.
Okay. Yeah.
Just the acid still.
Keep the acid up. Yeah. No, it's a beautiful wine, and it's true. Like you don't see a lot of a lot of wines made a lot of Pinot made like that. Awesome. All right. So you guys, I know you said you're salmon safe and certified sustainable here. What does that actually look like in the vineyard? What do you guys having to do to keep that up? I mean, obviously it's not just a sticker to put on the bottle, right? So it's certainly not that easy. So what does that look like?
We do regenerative farming here in the vineyard. We are really paying attention to how we farm, what we farm, the way we're doing it. For example, weed control under the vines. When Larry and I were first starting out, Larry contacted some of the Growers Association in Eastern Washington and said, how do you guys deal with weed control? Because obviously, you can maintain in the middle of the rows, but underneath the vines is super challenging, because obviously you don't want to damage the plant. And they said, well, we just turn off the water. And we were like, well, that doesn't work for us here on the west side. That's not really a solution. And we don't want to use chemicals to maintain the weeds. And so what we ended up doing is, I guess you can describe the attachment.
Yeah, so when we use mechanics out here, so we have a mechanical machine that goes behind the vineyard that's got sensors on it, and we can put different attachments on it during either to mow or till up the ground, or usually what we use is just a knife, and it's got sensors, and we'll just go down the rows and it goes in and out of the plants.
Oh, really?
Just
Okay.
pulls, and it just takes care of the weeds for us.
Okay.
And we're okay with it having some weeds there. We're actually looking at some newer things to be a little more sustainable, maybe planting like crimson clover.
Okay. So you cover crops and that kind of thing.
In there right now, just so we can do less passes through the vineyard with the machines, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But so there's no herbicides out here. All of the sprays we use for powdery mildew or botrytis or anything else are almost all of them are certified sustainable. They're all following in the certified sustainable. Almost all of them are organic. I have the arsenal in there if I need it, but I rarely have to use it. So it's sulfur. We use some nitrogen every now and then, but not a whole lot because of the way we take care of the soils. But it's at this time of year and in the spring, every couple of weeks we'll have to come through here and spray to keep powdery mildew down.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of the way the process is in powdery, in a maritime climate.
For sure. Yeah. Disease pressures happen, especially, so pruning and a little bit of spraying,
But we do not use any of the kind of the really harsh commercialized chemicals, right? And so that means we have to go through a little bit more frequently to have a better product and a better end result, and a longer term. The soil here is super healthy because of the way we take care of it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So I think you guys mentioned that maybe the bottle that turned you guys on to it really spoke to you. It was a Domaine Drouhin. Was that? Is that right?
Yes.
Can you
It's hilarious favorite.
Yeah.
They actually have different favorites of the.
We do.
Oh, okay.
So we were actually with her parents down in Seattle at a steak restaurant at RN 74.
Okay, yeah.
No longer there, I don't know.
Michael Mia's restaurant at the
Yes.
time, yeah.
And so we had ordered an older bottle of Domaine Drouhin there, Luis, which is kind of their reserve. And we were literally down there to meet and have dinner and hang out and talk about what we were going to do with the property here, right? And so that was kind of one of those prompted the conversation, because we were just so fascinated by how fantastic this wine was. Even though it was older, it was just like drinking silk. It was just wonderful, right? They had this great older aromatics to it, but it was just everything about it kind of just stops time, right?
Love wine for that.
And it's just,
Because it can do that.
and it can do that. And it
really can,
reminds you of places. It reminds you of lots of different things.
Takes you places.
And
Yeah.
it takes you places. And that was really like, well, we can do this. And that's kind of really what started.
That was part of-
started all of this.
That's the easiest way to take care of 100 acres is to let's start a vineyard.
vineyard,
so
right?
easy. There's no work involved at all. We don't work 7 days a week. It's not a thing.
Yeah. Oh, has there been a wine you made here at Bayernmoor now where, after having, that experience with these wines that you guys were tasting all this time, and you make a wine, is there something that you first tasted from here that you were like, oh, this is it? Or you were like, you're right there, and now you're building on that.
Well, I think what's fun for us is because we're a young winery. Our oldest vintage is 2017. We're getting to taste our wines as they age, along with our club members.
Okay.
So we pulled out a 17 just a couple weeks ago, and it was absolutely lovely and really amazing. And we're enjoying the transformation. And I think it's a fantastic representation of our vineyard and of our climate and of what we're trying to achieve. I think some of the recent wines that we've made that we are really excited about are the two 2023s that we have on the table here. Because 2023 turned out to be a fantastic year for us. As you're in the middle of the year and it's going, you think the weather's great and the grapes are looking really good and you have all these hopes, but you don't really know what's coming out of your vineyard until you've made the wine and it's aged and it's sitting usually. You get to taste it long after it's harvested those grapes.
Delayed gratification.
Right?
Yeah.
And yes, you taste the barrels in between.
For sure.
So it's not like it's this massive shock at the end, but it's a lovely surprise when you finally bottle it and then you get to open one up and you're like, wow, this is really amazing. I'm so excited about what we've done. And it's a preview, I think, for not only what this vineyard can do and has done already, but for what it can do in the future. So
Yeah, it's such a baby vineyard too, so.
I mean, it is when you think about the vineyards in Eastern Washington. They're by far older than us in
Or
California.
anywhere
Oregon,
else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah. No, that
I think for me, like, I think the 17 and opening those original ones recently and seeing how well they're doing and that they continue to get better is fantastic for me. But Kim's right. The 223s that we have, I'm more partial to the 777 clone. So we don't always bottle these two clones separately,
okay.
right? Sometimes we put them together. Sometimes we do them separate. It's really like, what is the fruit telling us as we're doing fermentation and making those decisions before we bottle, right? So we keep them separate through barrel aging and everything else. And it's really just a few months before bottling we decide. And this year in 23 we decided is like, they're both fantastic. They're both distinctly different. Let's just do it.
That's so cool.
Right? But it wasn't until we released the 777 at the end of last year, and I opened the first, because we usually, like the white Pinot we bottled in March, and this is the first one we've opened. But that it was bottled in March, and we didn't open it towards the end of the year. And I was like, oh my God, this is so good. And it made me come home, and because we have another 23 varietal we haven't released yet, which is a reserve. And so when we don't do a reserve every year, but when we do a reserve, it's 100% off of these estate clones. And we go through, we have kind of we can talk about it later. We have a process of how we go through and pick kind of the best of the best barrels out of all the barrels and put those together. So it's kind of the creme de la creme. It's the best of the best of what we're making. And I hadn't opened one. And so I got home and I went and found one. And it was like, we have to try this. And these are really good. But that one, which hasn't come out yet, is, I think, probably the best one we've ever done. And so I'm excited.
That's amazing. Yeah.
On the edge of my seat to release it. But at the same time, like, maybe we should just keep it for ourselves.
It will come out eventually.
That's cool. All right, let's open one of these if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, where?
Précoce and the white. But yeah, we're really excited about the Précoce. It did really well in the San Francisco Chronicle competition. It got a double gold. So for us, from a small vineyard, a small winery out in the Puget Sound AVA, which practically no one has heard of.
Who knows?
Great.
I don't think anyone.
No, we were just really thrilled that it was so well received. It smells lovely. Yeah. Put it down. I don't even need to taste it. I can just.
So you think it's good? Good enough.
Thank you. This is the Précoce.
Really, I just wanted more.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
Very
lovely. Really, really lovely. Yeah.
Yes, and it's really different, I think, from a lot of what we think of as traditional Pinots.
Yeah.
Because traditional Pinots are more similar to the 777, where it's a little bit earthier, a little deeper, a little bit more mushroomy. Whereas the Précoce is really bright. It's very aromatic. It's very fruit
It
forward,
really is.
almost slightly floral. It's just really lovely.
That's the thing about wine too. I can get caught, and I'll tell people when I'm just sharing my passion with them, and I was like, like the best wines, I don't even have to drink them. I mean, I want to, and I'm excited to, and I get to, but before then I get to just sit and just smell it like a wine. That's just like, it can be intoxicating in its own. And this is so lovely.
And this is one of my favorite things about pouring these side by side. Like I said, they literally grow 8 feet apart out here. And when you get to the next one, you smell it, it's going to smell totally different. It's going to taste different. Everything about them is different.
That's so cool.
Which is really, really cool.
Yeah. Same varietal, same everything else. Do you guys treat them the same, or do you have to treat them a little differently once you get them to the crush pad and stuff?
No, once they hit the crush pad, we treat them the same.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing that's different here is the fact that we're 2 weeks behind
Right.
everything with the 777, which gives us the ability to we don't have to try and get everything done in like 1 week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So it's right about the time we're done with the Précoce, it's time to start on the 777.
Okay.
Right? Whether it be shoot positioning or moving wires or harvest or whatever it is, right?
I don't even think you make different barrel decisions, or yeah, it's all 100% French oak. But
What's the hardest part of this job that no one sees?
Out here, it's probably what we're just finishing is doing the dormant pruning,
Okay.
because it's done in January and February and March, which is not the ideal time to be outside. A lot of times, I have discovered when it's really, really cold and rainy, I tend to have more meetings inside. Just so happens that way, right? But that's probably one of the hardest things out here in the vineyard is having that. The nice thing about it is it's not rushed, right? You don't have to like go quick. Whereas during green harvest, every day the fruit's getting a little more ripe, and so you have to go through the vineyard pretty quickly to make those decisions before you can't tell.
Press for time, yeah.
Just press for the time. Probably for me, the hardest is just the logistics of crush and being a small operation that's running, we'll do about 5,000 cases through that very small facility, and balancing space and time and just logistics. Which at the same time, I feed off of that stuff. Love bragging.
Yeah.
That's my nerd side.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
But it is busy. It's very long and it's a lot of work. We enjoy it, but I do appreciate when we finish with harvest and it's not really late at night, because I think what people don't realize about making wine is a huge part of making wine is actually janitorial. It's cleaning all the equipment before you can use it. You have to clean it, sanitize it, because it's been sitting there a year, not used, right? So everything has to be cleaned. And then you also have to clean it after you use it. So even if you're going to be processing fruit the next day, it still all has to be completely 100% clean before you finish the evening so that it's ready to go for the next day. So it's a lot of just cleaning. Really. Doesn't sound very glorious.
And there are some late nights. I mean, there are nights when we will finish at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And that's just because, we brought in a lot of fruit that day, or we harvested the day and brought in fruit. It's just, and then we'll start again at 7 a.m. So there's times when but I love it. It's a great part of the year for me.
I would say, yeah, it's probably not for everyone,
No.
but like, it takes a special type of people, that are committed and are willing to do that. But also I imagine, and I think about this often when I talk about like why I live in Seattle and like the climate and stuff, it's because it's that wave, right? So then when you do get your time off, I imagine it's just that much more meaningful, right? Because you spend so much time. And I think about here, like, we appreciate the sun when it comes out because it's pretty gray from November to February, So yeah, no, this is beautiful. So then you have the 777. Is that the other one as well?
Mm-hmm.
We do.
All right. And so same vintage, right? These are the 2023.
Everything about them the same except for the clone.
Okay.
Same, like I said, we do the same stuff on the crush pad, same stuff during fermentation. Aging is the same, barrel program's the same, bottle on the same day. So it really is just, and they were planted on the same day, right? So there's really no difference other than the clone.
So you guys have won a bunch of awards, and you guys are getting recognition, which is super cool, and obviously it's well deserved. Like as we're hearing here, the attention to detail and your guys' commitment to quality is very obvious, and so which is amazing because you guys are great stewards and representation of what we're doing up here in the Pacific Northwest. What do you think people get wrong, or what do you want people to know? You think about Washington State or the Puget Sound, or how do you guys feel about the Puget Sound as like a growing, like a future growing area? I mean, it's a lot. I don't know. You guys could take it.
I'll go this direction, I think, with it. So,
because you guys are the only ones I know.
right, for as far as like, Puget Sound ABA goes, and Pinot coming out of Washington State. So our wines were entered into the Platinum competition for last fall. Last fall. And so they just came out a month ago, right? With the announcements for all of the awards for it. And the way you get your wines into the Platinum competition is that they have to have won gold or better at qualifying competitions. And so our 777 not only got 98 points and double platinum, it also ended up earning best of the best red in the entire Pacific Northwest. So that means they beat out Pinots from Oregon, from all the red wines in Oregon.
It's not just Pinots,
right.
all reds.
All reds. So Oregon, Washington State, British Columbia, and Idaho. So it can be done. Like, we can make fantastic wines here out of the Puget Sound ABA.
I agree. That's why I'm here. Really, it kind of blew my mind the first time. Someone that was working at your tasting room was in one of my WSET groups, and so and she happened to, we were doing like a Pinot tasting. I had no idea. It just clicked for me, and so then anyway, I went to your tasting room and like tasted through all your wines, and I was like so surprised. Maybe I shouldn't have been, but like again, I just didn't have much of a I don't know. There's just not. It's not happening. There hasn't been that much. You guys are really. I feel like the first people to do this. And honestly, I was like, I think they're a little crazy, probably, like on some level.
We have a visitor.
Our dog is right there.
Hi.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
He's very, very sweet.
Oh,
He is
wow.
Very, very dirty.
What kind of dog are you?
We have 2 Great Pyrenees. They're
Great
dogs
Pyrenees.
to keep
You're so
deer,
big.
coyote, bear,
Cougar.
cougar, all the things out away from the house.
We
And
have a puppy right now, and he's not as big as you.
yeah, he's very big. And so they're outdoor dogs year round. This is their job, and they
Okay.
love having a job. And they're very, very friendly. But because they're outdoor dogs,
Yeah.
they have very special fur that's conditioned to being outdoor dogs.
Oh, I feel it. Yeah.
Yeah, this time of year they are very, very stinky and dirty. They get 2 baths a year. Start when the first one will be
In
in
about a month.
June.
Yeah.
Really, usually depending on the weather.
Oh, you look so sweet.
They are very, very.
They're very sweet, but they're very large.
Very large.
This is a big dog.
And they do love to be snuggled. So now he will never leave you.
That's exactly what my daughter wanted when she wanted a dog. I think that was the requirement, right?
Yep. So they're lots of fun, but they have a job. Like this is they're working dogs. Behind our property is Pilchuck Tree Farm. It's a working tree farm, so there's
Okay.
thousands of acres of forest, which is amazing. They are fantastic neighbors to have, but that doesn't mean we have a lot of wildlife out here. So they keep the deer away from my mom's roses, which she appreciates because otherwise we would have nothing but little nubs, and they keep.
Oh, him?
Like
Her?
he
Or
and
is it-
he that's
okay.
Buster. And then
Buster?
his sister Daisy is floating around here somewhere.
Okay.
But they roam about what, 10 acres?
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they don't get full range of the property because we want to make sure that we know where they are.
Right.
We're keeping track of them. But yeah, so I'm sorry, but
No,
that's
that's good.
strange. The discussion.
We got a 4th.
Yeah, no, I like it. Thanks, Buster.
But
Yeah, that's great. So outside of your guys' own wines, is there anything else you guys are drinking right now that excites you? What do you guys drink when you're not drinking your own wines? Or you guys?
I actually enjoy going wine tasting. We don't get
Okay.
to do it very often
For sure.
because we're always busy and we're always working, and everybody's tasting rooms are open the same hours as ours. But I do enjoy going out and trying other Washington wines because I want to be able to speak about them and champion them because we're here in Washington State. We should be talking about Washington
Yeah, it's
wine,
community, right?
promoting it. As much as I love wines from Oregon and some in California,
all
like
over the world.
right, I do want to be able to talk about our fellow industry members here in Washington State and really being able to especially guide guests when they come to visit us and they've had a great tasting experience and they ask you where should they go next. It is really helpful to know of other wineries in the area based on their personal preferences on where we can send them next to try some more wine.
Yeah, and you guys have a tasting room in Woodinville, which is like so close. And then, I mean, you guys have to be the only vineyard too that's like this close to Seattle.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're the. Well, not pretty sure. We are the only Woodinville tasting room that's got a vineyard in the state this side of the mountains, which is a huge draw because we can have our club members come up here and we do club events every 4 times a year. We'll do vineyard tours and tastings for club members, and
It's so beautiful out here too.
but it's kind of cool to have the opportunity to walk through the vineyard, drink the wine that literally comes out of that vineyard,
Yeah.
and then sit on the crush pad and have lunch together and just enjoy a day. And we do it 4 times a year, so they see it like this, and then they'll see it when the canopy's like half grown, and they'll see it full grown. And then we do one right around harvest when we have fruit that's already come in from Eastern Washington. And so they can come and see kind of all the different stages of the vineyard and all the different stages of harvest, which is just it's a lot of fun.
I love that too, because I feel like, I mean, I guess outside of if you travel to Napa, walk to Vineyard or whatever during the tours, I mean, you're right. In Washington State, it's much harder. I mean, it's a commitment to, to go over to Walla Walla or whatnot. And I feel like there is something about having that connection of being in the vineyard with the wine. I mean, like wine is so much, it's all of the sciences and everything, but it's also so much connection to the land. And so like to be out there with it, I feel like it just adds like so much more depth and dimension to the experience. That's super cool. All right. I have my last 2 questions, I think. No, this is great. So you guys have said that you're on a mission to make the best Pinot Noir in the world. And And I was going to say, like, many people probably think that that's crazy, especially coming from like an area that most people have never even heard of or know that they make wine. Do you believe that's possible?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of people thought we were crazy when we planted the vineyard, and we're 13 years later now, and we got rated the top red wine of Pacific Northwest.
So cool.
So, and we still have people tell us we can't grow Pinot over here, and that's okay. And if my view it is, like, I'm going to shoot for the best that we can do, and we're already done some great things, and I think there's still a lot more to come. So I absolutely believe that we can produce the best Pinot in the world. I don't see why not.
I'm not going to argue with you. I drove up here for a reason, right? Like, so, yeah, I think, once you start getting into really good wine, I think we're all talking about little varying degrees and differences and stuff like that. And I think this is absolutely just beautiful wine. This is really great. All right, Kim. If 10-year-old Kim walked into the vineyard today and saw what it's become, what do you think she'd think?
10-year-old me would have wanted nothing to do with the vines. I would have said, "Where's my horse? I want to go on a ride."
Okay.
Actually love being outside and doing hikes and being out in nature. I grew up like and my parents previous to this had a piece of property in Anacortes, so
Okay.
that's where actually my childhood
Okay.
it was. And again, there it was, big piece of property with lots of forests, and I would spend my time in the woods, going on trail rides, just being out. And so if I saw this place as a 10-year-old, I would just want to say, where can I go riding? Like, where's the best spot? Where are the trails? Just because I enjoy being outside.
That's cool. Well, you picked a good second career here to be able to do that.
It's lovely.
It's kind of a requirement.
I know. And I actually have no idea what Larry would have done because I didn't know you at 10. But I imagine you would have wanted to find somewhere to camp since you were an Eagle Scout.
Find somewhere to camp. I still want to be outside.
Okay.
So I grew up.
You're an Eagle Scout?
Yeah, I'm an Eagle Scout. So I grew up camping and living outside, and similar to her, I didn't grow up with horses, but I grew up around farms and ranches, being in Texas. And so we were always doing something outside. Like, my childhood home was on a creek, and so we spent days down in the creek just playing out in the dirt and out in the fun. So, and as I got older, we had a commercial real estate business my dad started. Here comes the other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Daisy.
This is Daisy.
It's good this is towards the I think the last
Yeah.
questions, because we will not be left alone at this point.
So commercial real estate business. So part of my childhood was growing up and helping take care of the grounds and take care of the properties and take care of everything else. I'm used to working. I'm not used to watching TV and just doing other things. It's always something activity is going on.
Got to be moving
and building things towards the future.
Love it. Love it. Well, thank you guys so much for having me out. Like, this has been such a pleasure, and meeting the dogs, Daisy and Buster, and getting to see your guys' beautiful property out here. I hope more people find what you guys are doing here and come check out your wines. Yeah.
Thank you.
We're having fun sharing them.
We have a lot of fun. Of course, we have our tasting room in Woodinville. We're open here starting April 18th every weekend throughout the summer. So we want people to come out.
Absolutely.
Come see their wines. Come taste them. Come enjoy.
Yeah, it's like a 45-minute drive. It's like it's not even a podcast.
and it's get out of the city and just enjoy a day out in the country.
Oh, it's so pretty out here. Yeah, it's so nice. I think it's so easy. We're super blessed in Seattle, I feel like, because we can just get out and it's not that far away. And so yeah, this is just such a lovely place. God, I would love to be up here to see the fog across the street.
Pretty cool.
Like, how cool is that?
It is beautiful because usually on those days, of course, it's clear blue, sunny sky, right? So it looks magical. It looks like you're kind of in a Jack and a Beanstalk situation where you're up in the, you're up above everything, looking down, and it's lovely.
Well, thanks for having me out. Cheers.
Cheers.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cheers.